Hello, I'm Pete. It's Monday morning, so you know what that means. It's time for an update on what I've done over the weekend, what I bought, well, what I sold first, then what I bought, and then what I'm going to do the rest of the week. Solds are first, obviously, because I've got to use the space to wrap this stuff before I list the stuff or show you it. So I'm using the space to show you. I'm going to get straight into it. 11 sales since Friday night. I didn't wrap anything Saturday morning because, well, didn't feel like it, quite honestly. It was cold. I just cracked on with listing. So, Friday, actually, yeah, it was Friday night. I got this sold, wooden bowl, cost me £2.50, discounted to £2. I showed you it a couple of weeks ago. I sold for 10, and oh dear, £3.95 postage. It's very, as you can see, it's very shiny. I've got the Mr. Sheen on it, and it's quite slippery actually. Nice once it was finished and polished up lovely. Next was a Disney mug. Now I've had this for about a year, maybe 9 months, something like that, and it's just a plastic mug. I bought 5 of them off a guy for a tenner. No, sorry, it was about £9. He wanted a tenner. I got a bit of discount. It only sold for 4. I had it on, and it's one of those small things I didn't really want to sell anymore, so I put it on auction at £1.99. Sold for 4. Yeah, plus postage. I wasn't going to do it £4 with postage. It's quite big, so £4 plus £3.95 postage. This was quite nice. I showed you this previously. Was it last week or the week before? I think it was last week. £22 plus postage, £6 on top, £5.99. So £27.99 in the end. There was a chip on one of them, just near the handle, and yeah. So it did devalue it. Otherwise, I would have been looking for 28 plus postage. Such is life. I got one of these discs, tapes sold from last week. It's Queen's Greatest Hits. $7.99, exactly what I said it was, because I knew that the previous 3 had sold for $7.99. This one, no different, no promotion, no offers, $7.99. That was free post. Yeah. So basically, it's like $5.99 plus postage, because e-postage now, I think it's $1.86 or $1.68 plus a bag. You know. Friday the 13th Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. That was $2.99, but it was $1.99 postage on top, because I've started putting DVDs and video games with postage. I've been doing everything else with postage on top, but I always used to do my video games and DVDs free post. Well, I looked at the prices, and really it doesn't really matter to the buyer, but it matters to me, because when I give a discount, I'm giving 10% off $2.99, not 10% off $1.99 or $2.99 plus $1.99. Not giving it off the postage, so it does make a difference. Not that I was going to give 10% off $2.99, quite honestly. Anything under £5 doesn't get a discount as far as I'm concerned. Sold that chessboard, the folding wooden chessboard, for what I thought I'd get, £15. I did put it up at 18, but then I sent offers out and somebody snapped their hand off. I sold it in 2 days, so that's not too bad. Plus postage, of course. This guy, the one with 3 heads from Harry Potter, Cerberus I think it's called, I'm not sure. They call him Fluffy in the show, don't they? Fluffy. It's a Papo, P-A-P-O, original one, and that went for, that was another one that had hung around a while, so I started that well, I reduced it considerably from £7.99 to £3.97 plus postage on top. One of these, this was £6.65, reduced from £7.99, and with £3.95 postage on top. It's the Fujifilm AC power supply that I told you about the other week. So that's like 2 or 3 of the ones that I listed in the last couple of weeks have sold. 2 out of 3. Skybox. This is not the last Skybox I mentioned last week and I wasn't going to sell anymore. It's the one after that. That sold the next day. As soon as I made that video, as I was editing the video saying I wasn't going to sell anymore, it sold. So that effectively meant I'd sold 3 in a week, and the interest in them has increased again. So I wasn't going to sell anymore. I was going to split this for a hard drive, but I got an inquiry off a guy saying, have you got any more of the 3D version? I noticed is it still available, the 3D version? I said no, it's sold. Have you got any more? And I looked at the ones I had, and this one is 3D anytime, and it's a DRX890R, made in Romania instead of China. Basically it's exactly the same though. So I took new photos, tested it out and listed it in an hour and a half while the guy was waiting. Sent him a link. I didn't put an offer on it. I didn't put promotions on it. I sent him the link. I waited. Nothing. Anyway, somebody else bought it the next day. Full price, no promotion. £16.95 and £8 postage. So yeah, nice. That's £25 minus the few pence. There's a camera from a couple of weeks ago. Cost me £1, sold for 34. It had a 4 gig card in it, and it's all working and nice. And £6 postage, so £40 from the £1 I spent the other week. Very nice. And the last thing is speakers. There's 2 of them actually. A couple of weeks ago, no, 3 weeks ago maybe, I was in a charity shop and bought a hi-fi. There's the grill. It's very dirty. You might not be able to see, but it's all stained. But the speakers themselves are lovely. Look, no marks, no chips. I put the little feet on. Nice silver speakers. Yeah, and they sound really nice. 60 watt speakers these, even though it's a mini hi-fi, and that's from JVC. 60 watt. It's pretty good actually for a small hi-fi. A lot of them are only like 20-30 watts. And they went for 20 just for the speakers. The hi-fi itself, same problem as every single one of them. The tape stutters and then stops. I had an idea that that might happen, but it was £4.99 for the stereo. £4.99 with the speakers, with a remote control. A lot of places are still, and I don't blame them, I mean, they want to get rid of them quick. I personally think that they should be putting them out at this price so that I can buy them. It came with a remote control as well. The remote control, that particular model for this particular hi-fi is currently selling for £15. So that's a thin remote as well, so it'll go in a large letter envelope. So for £2 postage instead of 4, you sell it for £15 free post. You come away with, after fees and everything, a tenner, and the whole thing cost me a £5. So these 20 quid plus postage, which was another £7.99 on top. So it adds up to £207 minus a few pence for the, you know, for the here 5 pence here, 1 pence there, 3 pence off the pound, etc. I really don't care about that sort of thing. So yeah, wasn't a bad weekend. 3 whole, well, it's 2 whole days and a Friday night. So yeah, and it's Monday morning. I haven't sold anything yet, but you know, I'm hopeful to sell something today. I did have a no sale day last week, sorry. I think it was Wednesday, but I'm not sure why, because I'd listed loads of stuff on Tuesday, I listed loads of stuff on Wednesday, but I was concentrating on listing. I wasn't sending offers out, I wasn't doing all that. When I did send offers out, I got some sales. So not a bad week. I think I did about 460 in total, and it was 207 just over the last 2 days, because it's always weekends that make the best sales for me. So as far as listings concerned, I didn't get as much listed as I was hoping for last week, but I did concentrate on the higher value items. Now I'm going to clear this lot away. Well, I'm not. I'm going to wrap it. The next time you see me, in like 2 seconds, I'll be showing you what I bought on Sunday. So again, I'm back. It's been several hours. Wrapped all the gear, all apart from the speakers, which was sold at 1 minute to midnight last night. The 2 JVC speakers. So they're going out tomorrow, because quite honestly I run out of boxes that were big enough. I'm going to go and get one. Shouldn't be a problem. Or at least it shouldn't be a problem to go down to Aldi and, you know, when I go shopping, I'm going to go shopping tonight and go and get one big enough, and then lots and lots of cardboard to go around it. Shouldn't be a problem once I've done some bubble wrap. Anyway, those issues are beside the point. Okay, what I bought yesterday. I may have to stand back a bit to show you a few of them. Right, first things first. It was raining at 10:30 last night. Sorry, Saturday night. And I looked at the forecast and it said it was going to rain from 3 in the morning till about 11 in the morning. All in this region. So I stayed up till about 2:30, 3 watching videos, because I never get to do that on a Saturday. So that's what I did. And then I went to bed and I got up about 7:30, and it was bright sunlight and dry as a bone. Great. So I whipped out of my bed, got my clothes on, straight out of the door. Well, I did stop to get a coffee in a travel mug. Avoided my normal local, because normally I'm setting off about 8:15 back to Hull, because I've been round the normal one, and it would have been about that by the time I got there, maybe 8 o'clock. It's hardly worth bothering, and the last few times it's been very quiet. So I went straight to Hull and I concentrated there on getting me stuff, which is it's unusual stuff, most of it, or well, my usual stuff, you know. So first thing I got actually was a bit unusual on the clearance guys stall. It's coming up to St Patrick's Day, a green felt top hat. Yeah, I know. £2 it was. It's quite good. Murphy's stout. It'll sell. I'm not sure I want to. I might keep it. Don't know. There's not a lot of Irish in my ancestry. It's Scottish, really. Scottish and English. So, yeah, I'd probably sell it. I don't think I'll get a lot for it, actually. And of course, packaging on something like this is, you've got to charge the right amount. Of course, postage is going up at the end of the month. On the average parcel that I send, it's only 15-20 pence, but it's 15 or 20 pence, and I'm gonna probably, I've been taunting myself to put it up to £4 earlier in the year from £3.95. I'm gonna go the whole hog and probably go £4.30, £4.40. Don't forget, eBay is now charging commission on the postage, and on the promotion on the postage. So if you promote, and sometimes you have to promote in order to get seen even these days, you're looking at 18% in commission with promotion plus fees, don't forget, on the postage. 18% on top of your postage before you break even. Enough said. Right, then I did spot something I've been looking for a few weeks. I've been using a desk chair with one of those wheeled bases, and one of the wheels came off at the end. The plastic, I'm a big guy, yeah, I know that, and jumping in and out of that chair all day takes a bit of a strain on the wheel, and where the wheel didn't break, where it goes into the plastic broke. So when I saw the guy who I normally buy electrical gear from, he had a high back PU leather 5-wheel, you know, the ones with the sort of spidery base with the 5 wheels. I got that off him for a tenner. He wanted 15, got it for a tenner. It's real nice. It's not damaged at all. It's a bit dusty. I've cleaned it down. Still dusty underneath. Put it in front of my computer. Great. Much better than what I had been using for the last 2 weeks, which was a folding vintage deck chair. Not particularly good. You know, the ones with the wooden arms and the like canvas back? Yeah. I'd rather keep that in pristine condition for later in the summer when I can sell it. I've got a pair of them, matched colours. Right. So that was a tenner. That was the next thing. Then I saw these. Let's put that down there. There. DJ Hero one there, and DJ Hero Renegade, which is just shiny, basically. Gold knobs, shiny edges to it. There you go. Gold feet. It's basically the same, it's just nicer looking. Those two, and he had the game, and I said, have you got the dongle? Oh yeah, I've got the dongle. Oh yeah, dongle. It does have a little bit of a split in the rubber there, and you can see it's the casing to the wire, the sort of silver foil that wraps around the wire that goes underneath the PVC. So it's not broken, but it's not as good as if it was, you know, spot on. But it was only a £5, so I got that for both of those, and the software and the dongle, and it will be like 20 to 25 quid, I think. Then I got some albums off a guy, tape albums, 5 for £1 again, different guy, same price. The Cars, Candy O, Best of the Beach Boys Volume 2. He did have a lot of tapes. Now I saw one particular tape I wanted, and I was like trying to pull it out the rack. It seemed to be like he glued all these racks into the things, and I think he'd put the tape in too early. It was all glued in. Buddy Holly, Best Of, but it doesn't say Best Of anyway, it just says Buddy Holly. Pet Shop Boys, Actually, and Eric Clapton, and the name of the album is August. Well, none of those are a big hit like the Queen one that I sold yesterday, but it's not bad for 20p each. I got a remote for £1, which is a bit more than I normally pay, but it's in good nick. It's and I've tested it, it's fine. DVD, Panasonic DVD player, remote. They're about £7, so not a particularly big profit margin, but I'll look after it and see if I can find, or rather I'll keep it in case I find a Panasonic DVD player that doesn't have anything like that, for a bit, and if I can't find one, I'll just sell it. I bought a calculator. This is off the same guy who had the tapes, and I saw it on the side, Academy. It's not a particularly good name, but it's an LED calculator from like the early 80s, I suppose, and it's Hong Kong made. The only problem is it doesn't turn on. So it's probably a fail. It cost me £1, not a big deal. You take your lumps when you're buying electrical gear. Sometimes that just happens, you know. Next stall along, I was looking at these in a plastic bag, P-Touch, and I wondered whether it had a bad. I started taking out the bag, and he's like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Well, I want to see if the batteries are okay, or whether it's got batteries, or it's got thing." And he says, "Oh," I said, "Didn't you have another one?" Because this is the second time round. I was whipping round looking for DVD players, and I couldn't find any. And I'd seen this one, and he's like, and I had looked to the back of this one, and it's got a tape in it. You pull the back off like that, clean, tidy, with a tape in. I don't know how much tape there is left on it. And he's like, I said, "Oh, didn't you have another one?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, there you are." Put them back together, and I'm like thinking he's going to charge me like £3 or £4 each one. And he's like, £1 for both of them. And I'm like, okay. I won't even open the back of this one. It was all like encased in a plastic bag and taped up, but it's all fine with a tape in, a much bigger tape than the last one. This is the standard tape for the big like death versions as well, and space to put 6 treble A's in. They take loads of batteries, these things. And yeah, with it being a standard tape, it's half the price because you can get the copies from China, and this one's half the size but costs twice as much as the ones for this. So these are both old-fashioned versions. These days they have a much bigger screen, but they're both selling for over £20 each. So I'll test them, see if I can't get them to sell. It'd be nice to get £40 out of £1 on those two. I got a Skybox, the room version, and seeing as I'd just sold one, well no, I hadn't just sold it then, I'd just put it up for the guy who inquired after it, and he hadn't bought it, but I knew it was up for sale, so I got this one off the guy. I got my electrical off the same guy I bought my chair off. Get my electrical gear off. You've got to keep them sweet occasionally. Normally I would pay £1 for one of these. I paid £2.50 for it, but it does work, it's fine. And I've put a power supply and a remote control. I bought 2 remote controls off somebody else, 50p each, so that was another £1. And £2.50 for the but that's already up for sale for £19 or £19.90 plus postage. The postage on these is a lot less because they're a lot smaller. I've got this, which is nice. Unfortunately, I'm going to tell you now, they don't sell for as much as I thought. It's all, if I can open it, there we go. It's all new in its bag with the wires and the manual. Doesn't look like it's been used. And he said, "Oh, what about a £5?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And I looked up, it's only about £15, maybe 20, because it's only 350 watts, VS350. It's an ATX, which is an older version, but 350 watts for a desktop. The old top isn't much at all. In fact, back when I made my own desktop game computers up, it was like 750, 850. because nowadays you wouldn't want to use 850 watts on one. It'd cost you 40p an hour to run it. Ridiculous. Especially when there isn't a lot of power in them anymore. You couldn't really use it for office anymore or anything like that. You might use it for playing older versions of games, you know, like, you know, that sort of thing. What else? Oh yeah, this Leap TV. I got this a bit later. Yeah, I'll show you the next one. The next one was Sony PS1. It's a bit dusty, bit grotty, but it's working fine. And that was £4. No manual, no control, sorry, no power supply. But I have tested it with the ones from the box that was, you know, the pink box that I showed you earlier. And that's no problem at all, it's working fine. So £4 into, I don't know, maybe 20, maybe a bit more, not really sure what the replacement price is for it, you know, bare bones. And I also got from the same guy a little security monitor. It's only 4-inch. There you go. It's car voltage, 12 volts. It actually runs, it says it'll run on anything from 6 volts to 26 or 36. So yeah, 6 volts to 36 volts. It's an Amazon return, so it should work fine. The guy I bought off does test things, and it's the same guy I bought this off, so that's not too bad. And then there's the Leap TV. This came off a clearance guy that I bought a lot of things like the a couple of weeks ago I showed you a car's light and a Costa mug and a couple of other things. Same guy. This was £2. Nice. So up in the front, everything's there. There are no games with it. So hope it works, because you know, if it doesn't, the power supply will sell. But obviously it's not going to be as popular without games. It does seem that they're about 15 quid, so that's not too bad. And last but definitely not least, from the same guy, I got this. It's very nice, and I was looking at it. I looked at one of the speakers, and it's got a pushed in cone. You know, the dome in the middle of the cone of the speaker was pushed in, and I'm like, oh, real disappointed. I pulled the grills off to have a look at the speakers because they're both nice little cabinets. I'll show you. And then I realised it's a mini disc. I do like the mini disc systems, and it plays mini discs. The only problem is it don't play CDs. I will try and sell this for spares and repairs. It does seem like it's another 100 quid system if it's all working. Now the mini disc is the important part with this, but it seems that you can get new CD lasers for this because they're selling them, and the only reason they'd sell them is because they go, you know. So I will sell it for spares and repair. I'm not going to try and attempt to repair it myself. It cost £3. £3. So whatever I get for that, that's fine. And then I'm going to sell the two speakers separately. Here's what they look like. Silver both sides, and then you can take the hour bit off, and there you go. Nice blue cone, little tweeter. If you look carefully on this one, this is the one that was pushed in.
The other one's perfect. This one's got dimples and crimples in. Well, it was right pushed in, and I'd done the trick where you put a bit of tape on it, wait for it to glue together, and then pull it back like that, and it springs back. It's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect after it's been pushed in like that, but it's not bad at all, and it doesn't affect the sound quality, just the, you know, visual effect, which of course, you know, this is why they look so nice, these, when you take the fronts off. You only see it when you, as a human eye, you can see it more, but you wouldn't see it from a few feet away. So that's, somebody sold one recently, a pair, for £18, but they didn't have the pushed in things, so I'm thinking 15, 14. If somebody offers me something, fair enough. It's cost me between them £150 for the main unit, £150 for the speakers, so it stands to get me a 10x return anyway. And I don't know what I could get as a spares and repairs main unit, but I will sell them separately. Yeah, and that was £42.50 for the Carboot Sunday, and that's literally all I spent. However, before you go, before you say, oh, watch this last bit, because it always dips off, you know, at the end of the video, there is something else. I went to a charity shop, the electrical place that I told you about from the local hospice centre chain, and I tried to get one of them bulbs for that you know, sparkly lamp from last week, and they didn't have any, unfortunately, but I did go upstairs and look at their electrical stuff, and I found something really rather nice, and I'll show you that as soon as I've cleared this space and I can come and lift it in here. And I think I'll probably just take the camera and show you it. So get yourself ready, it's a nice one, and see you in a second. So I'm back. So yeah, I went to the electrical place upstairs in the hospice shop, the one that deals in electricals, went round all the lights, went over, they had a Lumi body clock which I've looked at a number of times with a broken bulb, and they wanted like £9.50 for it, and it wasn't in very good nick at all, and I've looked at it, put it back twice, and anyway, these were next to another pair of speakers which was next to a Wi-Fi, I mean a hi-fi, not a Wi-Fi, and the other speakers had price on, £2.50 for a pair, but as you can see these are a much better condition and quality pair of speakers, and I'm like, there's no price anywhere. I don't understand it. Why isn't there a price? Because the other two were priced up, and as I said, it was about £2.50, £3.50 for the pair, and I'm thinking maybe I can get these for £2.50, £3.50, but then as I started looking at them, they're so much better. You see, it's all plastic. It looks like veneer, but it's plastic. No damage anywhere. Really nice connectors at the bottom, and it says SSCEX1, and they're matched serial numbers. And I'm like, how come there's no price on them? So then I looked up the number, and I found out they were for a CD system, but I couldn't, it wasn't anywhere near it. But I did find it eventually on another shelf, and these had been put next to the other speakers, I think by mistake. Anyway, so this is what I found on the other shelf. There you go, with the remote, and the price £15.25, and it's a vertical system. Power on, where you put the CD in the top. If I press that, it opens that, lifts up, and put a CD in it. I can play this because the speakers aren't attached. Goes like that. Press it again. There you go. Remote. It does press again, but it's sliding about. And there you go. So let's put those out of the way so you can see it better. With the remote, don't forget it's got the grills. And then you press play and it starts playing. All the remote working fine. And once you've played it, you press stop. It has all the auxiliary inputs for a mini disc. It plays radio. It has a radio tuner. You can put a mini disc in the back. It's got optical out, optical in. Well, the optical is in out. It has analog in and out for recording and things like that. Very nice. All the backs enclosed. You can open this up and there's outputs. There's an FM aerial, and if you can take the whole back off, and there's more inputs and outputs there for attaching the speakers. Just a second. That fits in like that. There you go. And all the outputs and inputs go there, and it's a where we are, HCD EX1. The whole system together is a CMT EX1. That's the CD player with the remote and the speakers. And this is, as I said to you, it was £15 and 25 pence. So I went and got it. It's £295, the last one that sold. And the one before that was, I think, £255 on auction. So yeah, I think I'll be after the £295. I don't know how long it'll take to sell, but it's a nice piece. And press that button there. Lifts it up like that. Vertical CD players are all the rage at the moment, especially the wall mounted ones, but this is bookshelf mounted, and very nice indeed. I was very pleased to get that. That's going to go quite a long way towards getting me new computer. Hopefully it'll sell in the next couple of weeks. Now I've got them in front of the camera here. As soon as I finish this, I'm going to photograph it all. I might set the clock first, and then hopefully it'll be up for sale later on tonight or in the morning, depending on how I feel. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Or even if you wanted to show somebody this CD player. Anyway, it's going to bed, going to sleep. You can share the video, and thanks for watching. Bye.